Hey guys, welcome to Strength Building for Yoga people, or any people to be quite honest. Today we're going to focus on upper body strength, lower body strength, a whole lot of core, and do it all in about 20 minutes. So join me. Make sure you have a resistance band, a mat that you don't mind working out on if you tend to sweat. And you don't need shoes for this one, but you will need a couple of blocks. All right, I'll see you on the mat. Hey guys, let's get started. Make sure you have that resistance band and a couple of blocks ready. Let's start right now with some arm circles. So stand feet hips distance apart. Go ahead and draw one arm back and then the other like you're swimming. And as you do, draw your navel in, lift the chest and feel a stretch in front of the shoulder, right on the inside of the armpit. And let's reverse. So other direction, feel free to leave one hand up at a time. And try to keep your body relatively still. We're just warming up here, getting the shoulders going. Couple of more. Keep the belly nice and cinched in. And there we go. All right, let's do a bear squat to a plank. Feel free at any time to come to your knees if you need to for that plank. So place your hands about shoulders distance apart, feet or hips distance apart. Draw the navel in and then crouch back, like crouching tiger, but we're a bear. And then zoom forward into a plank. Coming back into a squat and then push forward into a plank. You can also come back into child's pose and then come forward into a knee plank. So keeping the core engaged, think about pressing through the hand. And then as you push forward, draw the navel in, chest pulls forward. Couple more like this, using the legs, using the shoulders, using the whole body here just to warm up. Getting the blood moving. Two more. Good. And then we'll come to a stand. Go ahead and drop the knees and stand up. We'll do a reverse lunge with a twist here. So hands to the hips, feet are hips distance. Go ahead and step one leg back. Make sure your stance is not too narrow. Drop down to a lunge, bring your hands up and twist, kind of reaching up over that shoulder of the leg that's in front. And then come back center, second side. Hands to hips, stepping back into a lunge and reach back to the second side. So make it a little bit more seamless here. Coming back into a lunge, reaching over, hands can be separate or together. Stepping back, nice and gentle twist here, standing tall. Let's do a few more here. Just getting into the spine a little bit and then using the legs to start to develop some heat here as we need that for our supersets ahead as we build strength for yoga people or just people in general. I think strength is so important for the body, for the mind. All right, two more like this. And then one more. Great, are you ready? All right, go ahead and grab that resistance band. We'll start with something that focuses on our back, diagonal band pull aparts. So take your band, your hand goes on either end of your resistance band. You're gonna bring one hand above your shoulder. The other hand is outside of the lower opposite side hip. You'll pull apart and then bring it back together. Now I noticed I had a lot of slack there. Didn't feel like I was gonna feel much. So I'm choking up and we'll begin here. So lift the chest, draw the navel in, and go ahead and keep a soft bend in the elbow. Start to pull the hands diagonally apart. And notice if one arm is starting to dominate the other, just continue to push and pull equally through both hands and arms. Make sure the wrists stay strong. This is really actually good for grip strength too. And last one. All right, other side. So bring the other hand up above the shoulder. This hand will come to the outside of the hip and begin soft bend in the elbow, bend the arms apart diagonally. You notice here I'm bringing the band a little bit closer to me, and I do let that band hit me. It hits me. It doesn't hurt though. A couple of more here. Navel's drawing in. I feel it in my back. Two more. And last one. Go ahead and bring that resistance band down. We're doing a push-up to a down dog. So I'll show you kind of the first stage, if you will. You'll come down to your knees. We'll do Chaturanga Pushups. So fingers are wide, hands are either underneath the shoulder or just outside shoulder, depends on your body. Draw the navel in, Keep the toes tucked under. Coming down to a Chaturanga Pushup, hug the elbows in, and then push the ground away from you. Lift the knees and come back into a down dog. So we'll do that now. Come to knees, shifting forward slightly, Chaturanga Pushup, and then press into the feet, lift the legs, straighten them out, and coming back again. Push up, making sure the elbows aren't dumping in, and the elbows are hugging in, but the shoulders are not dumping forward. A few more like this. And notice also, I'm not looking at you right now. I want my neck nice and long and my chest pulling forward. Couple more. Press the ground away, lift the hips up and back. 2 more like this. Navel strong, spine is nice and neutral. And last one here. Come to knees, down and up, lifting up to down dog, and walk the hands back. Coming into a quick forward fold, slowly rising up. 1 more set here of those 2 exercises back to back. Take a quick breath, take a quick rest, recover. Okay, let's get started. All right, hands to either end of the band. You want to make sure that there's enough tension there to where you're developing strength. Lift the chest, feet are hips distance, and let's begin. Begin to pull the band apart, hands moving at the same rate, at the same time. And just notice for a moment, are you dumping or leaning to one side or another? Is your body starting to sway? Does it seem like your wrists are starting to break? Make sure your wrists are nice and strong. 4 more. Ooh, yeah, that's great. Roll the shoulders back, and second side. Go ahead and bring the other hand up, and let's begin. Diagonally pulling the band apart. Getting into the upper back, which I love. Mid back. I also feel this in my arms, my triceps, little biceps, and again, grip strength, right? That translates really well into inversions, especially handstand. 3 more. And last one, bring the resistance band off to the side, roll the shoulders back. So your choice here, you can either do the knee push up to down dog, or you can do full chaturanga with the knees lifted up. So let's see where we go from here. Go ahead and come on down to the mat. Find your chaturanga hands, so fingertips wide, nice and strong. The elbows are pulling back toward the body. Okay. I'm going to try it on my toes here. So coming into chaturanga, pushing up, and then lift the hips up and back, long in the spine. Trying that again. Coming down, pushing up, and making sure you breathe here. Shifting forward, push down and up, coming back. Spine is neutral, chest is forward, head is not hanging. Remember, at any time, you can come down to your knees. Great, keep going here. Nice and strong. We want strong upper body, strong lower body. Notice if the hips start to dip. I noticed my hips were starting to dip on that last rep, so I'm coming down to my knees for a few. You want to make sure that your body is moving as one, and you're also mindful to listen to it when it says, hey, I'm starting to fatigue a little bit. Okay, let's try for 2 more. Oh yeah. And 1 more. And find that down dog. Walk the hands back. Breathe forward, fold. Take a breath. Slowly start to come up. All right, I'm super energized. I love that. So now we're going to move our focus to lower body. We're doing a constant tension split squat. And it looks like a lunge, except we're not stepping forward or backward. We're holding the split stance. So step 1 foot forward, the other foot back. You guessed it, this front knee will bend. You want to make sure you're wide enough in the feet that your knee is not going too far past the ankle, but we won't get bent out of shape over that. Hands to hips. Torso is nice and tall here. Lift the back heel, coming down and up. So go ahead and tap that knee. And we're doing constant tension. So that means we're tapping down, we're going at a fast rate, and I'm not locking out at the top. So I'm not coming all the way up here. I'm keeping the work here in the front leg. 4 more. Oh yeah, 2 more. And step forward with that foot, and you guessed it, second side. Find that split stance, make sure the hips are nice and level and square, and let's begin, torso tall. Tap that knee down, come back up, and now let's find a little bit of tension or a little bit of constant movement here. Coming down and up, making sure you're listening to your body, you're not overdoing it. If there's any pain, you come out of this exercise. Push through that front heel. 4 more. 3, 2. Okay, step forward, grab those blocks, and come down to lying on the mat. So depending on your feet, depending on you, my feet are bigger, so I'm gonna put my blocks the long way. You can put your blocks however you'd like. We're doing bridge pose, but the feet are elevated. You have to push straight down into your heels to make sure the blocks don't slide. Feel free to grab the sides of the mat. Lift the hips up, tailbone is long, hip points come toward the face and coming down. So you'll push through the heels, thighs will be more or less parallel with one another and coming down. And let's begin. So now we're going for constant tension again. Every time you lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, come back down. And it's just a subtle tap at the bottom. So you want big range, but also a constant pace here. So 8 more. Squeeze the glutes, tailbone is long. Are you counting? 2 more. And whew, take a quick breath, hug the knees in. Inhale, exhale, roll to one side, remove those blocks. You guessed it, round 2. Coming up here. Okay, so let's start again with our split squats. Make sure you breathe. You're not over hyperventilating. Sweating is fine. We want to move with precision, so make sure you're fully recovered here. If needed, go ahead and push that pause button. All right, tall on the spine. Let's begin. Constant tension, split squat. The majority of the weight of the body should be in that front leg. Your chest should be lifted, and you're tapping down and up and not doing a full lockout here in the front knee. So keeping that tension going. Noticing here if this hip is starting to sway out, hug that hip in. Bringing lots of attention here to the lower body. 3 more. 2 more. And step forward. Shake that out if you need to. Second side. Let's do this. Stepping back, make sure the feet are wide enough here. Lift the chest. Tailbone is long. Hug the ribs in, and let's go. Down and up. Pushing through that front heel. Making sure you're not flopping all over the place. Slow it down if you feel like the movement is out of control. All right, let's go. And breathe. Relax the shoulders. Maybe smile. Okay, 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, grab those blocks. Set them up for your feet. We're doing that bridge, constant tension for another round. Sitting down, bring your feet to the blocks. Heels are almost underneath the knees, but not quite. Tailbone is long, hip points toward the face. Let's go. Constant tension bridge pose with the feet elevated. Push down and up. So we're here at a rapid pace. We're changing up the tempo. Sometimes bridge pose is held for a long time. Sometimes you come down and up at a slower pace, and then sometimes you pick it up. So all sorts of ways to build strength by changing the tempo. 6 more. Squeeze the glutes at the top. 2 and 1. Good, it's like jumping in a cold pool, right? But it's a nice, hot, sunny day, so you don't mind so much. Okay, knees are coming out of the torso, moving the blocks to the side. I have got a marvelous core challenge here. So we're almost done, but we just need to address the front and back body now. So go ahead and come to a nice high plank here. Let's start with our knees first. So we'll come all the way up to a forearm plank, bring the chest forward, hug the navel in, and then coming down to a forearm plank. So you'll drop down one at a time, push through the right hand, and that means you'll come to a right-handed side plank, okay? When you come back, you'll do forearm, forearm, left hand presses up to a high plank. That means you do a left-handed side plank. Okay, so let's begin. Left forearm down, right forearm down, press through the left hand, left side forearm plank, lift the top leg. Or you can leave it down. Right away, right forearm down, left forearm down, press right, open up to the right. Doing that again. So forearm, forearm, press up into a high plank, move into a side plank, forearm, forearm, press up, side plank. Let's do one more each side. Now, it's really important here to move mindfully if you need to and slow it down, making sure you're not swaying all over the place with your midsection. All right, come back into that plank and then come all the way down to the tummy. I'm gonna move my equipment here. You'll need some room to move the arms around. So from here, point the toes, hands come to the lower back, press into the lower body, press into the legs, lift the head, neck, and shoulder. Inhale, sweep the arms around like a big wing span, and then come back down. So lift head, neck, and shoulder, draw the arms up overhead, and then arms come back and lower down. A few more like that. Lift up. Now, I know I tend to, when I do this pose, crank my neck because I want to look up, up, up. Makes me feel like, oh, I'm getting higher. Remind yourself here to tuck the chin in. We have two more. And last one here. Okay, one more set here. Take a quick break if you need to. We're gonna go straight into it. Knee plank or high plank, pull the chest forward, come to forearm, press up onto the right hand. That means right hand supported side plank. Second side, forearm, forearm, press up into the left hand, sweep left. Woo, lift the hips here. Making sure you're moving with control. The top hip isn't dumping back. Neck is nice and long here. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done with this one. I don't know, I like it. Makes me feel really, really strong, even though it's tough. Okay, and come to a high plank. Come all the way down to the belly. Let's begin cobra wing. Hands come behind the sacrum. Push the legs into the ground. Inhale, lift up. Neck is long. Sweep the arms. Coming down. Lift up. Arms come over the head and down. Now you can also leave the arms out here. This is a bit much for you. Keep breathing. Two more here. Last one. And cool down will be either child's pose or down dog. So I will probably do a little of both here. If you're in child's pose, sink the hips into the feet. If you're in down dog, fingertips wide. Push the hands away from you to lift the hips. Let the head hang. Slow the breath down. This is where I'll come into wide-kneed child's pose or resting heroes. And walk your hands back. And great job. Thanks for joining me today on strength building for yoga people or anyone, I guess. Part 2. I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.